Food waste is one of the hidden problems that we have. You don't recognize the cumulative effects of wasting one carrot at a time.
We have a very long distance and very complex food supply chain. And because of that, we have an issue where food can get wasted along the way. In this world, we have abundance. We have abundance of food, we have abundance of energy and resources, but then there's also this mental distancing, this disconnect, because you don't have that relationship with the farmers. You don't understand how difficult it is to farm. There is this view where food is just a commodity.
I was born and raised in Germany. My father was an organic farmer. I came to Canada when I was about 17. In Europe, the older generation all went through 1 or 2 wars and had great food shortages and big supply problems. Those people value food a little different than us people here in North America. Whatever they see in the supermarket today is 100 times more and better than what they had when they were hungry. Us coming here, we noticed that in North America, people send half plates of foods away. Me as a kid, I was always raised that you eat your plate and you don't take more than you think you can eat.
One-third of all the food on the planet is wasted. I'd worked for multinational consulting companies for about a decade and became frustrated because a lot of our work was how do you destroy that food more efficiently? But the real value is in how do you prevent the loss? And our agriculture is one of the largest contributors to greenhouse gas on the planet. It's the second largest consumer of drinking water on the planet is to make food that's wasted. Number 1 is to make food that's eaten, but number 2 is to make food that's wasted. And we're cutting down the Amazon forest to make more agricultural land because we're not being responsible with what we're growing now. And so we have a water shortage now, we have a carbon problem. If we just waste less food, then we save that agricultural output.
Climate crisis and agriculture are so interlinked. As climate crisis worsens, conditions that impact farms and crop loss increase. So we're looking at more food waste if the climate crisis continues, especially as food is being lost and wasted every day and people are hungry and struggling to make ends meet and access nutritious food. Addressing that is at the root of the issue.
I worked and supported youth across Canada to work on climate-oriented solutions that were addressing the most pressing issues that they were facing within their communities. To our surprise, a lot of these projects actually focused on food and food waste. Food insecurity is just a direct indicator of human health, recognizing that, okay, well, we have a food waste issue and at the same time we have this food insecurity issue. It just doesn't really make sense. 58%, almost 60% of all of the food produced in Canada is either lost or wasted.
I think it'd be a lot more fun to watch more videos than listen to me. Yeah. And is everybody glad to be here? Excellent. And if you came from downtown, you're here, it's amazing given the traffic. Good evening. On behalf of the Second Harvest Board of Directors, I'd like to welcome all of you to the 2023 Second Harvest AGM. For those of you joining us virtually, you have been muted and videos and chat have been turned off upon joining. There is a Q&A button at the bottom of your screen that you can contact us if you are experiencing any technical difficulties. My name is Jeff Halsworth, and it's been my honor to serve as the chair of the Board of Directors this past year. Second Harvest has been very busy, and I'm delighted to showcase some of the amazing accomplishments and impact from the past 12 months. In 2013, Second Harvest pushed the boundaries of our mission and vision and exceeded even our own expectations, and the expectations were high. Through tireless dedication and unwavering commitment, Second Harvest has the support of countless partners, not only but surpassed many of the goals we set for ourselves in our last 3-year strategic plan. We rescued more food than ever before, allowing us to divert significant amounts of greenhouse gases from entering our environment. By doing this, we improved the access to nutrition for millions of Canadians from coast to coast to coast. I want to thank all of our supporters and partners for ensuring we were able to get as much of that great food across Canada as we did. We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you. But we know there's much more work to be done. There are at least 6.9 million people in Canada that struggle to put food on the table every day. It's not acceptable. As a country, we need to do much better. A lack of affordability, persistent inflation, the housing crisis, and Canada's rapidly changing climate have made food rescue more important than ever, as millions of Canadians turn to food charities for the first time in their lives. At the same time, Canada's climate continues to warm at a rate of twice the global average, and we know that avoidable food waste is a major culprit to perpetuating this cycle. A changing climate not only affects agriculture, but it affects people, livelihoods, the supply chain, efficiency, and leads to increased severe catastrophic climate events. This past year, we saw the impacts of this firsthand and provided emergency food support to communities deeply affected across Canada. The average Canadian household has experienced 4% inflation on a year-over-year basis. Many important food categories like fresh produce, grains, and protein continue to experience sustained price increases. Last year, it was anticipated that a family of 4 would need to spend an additional $1,065 for food. We know that's a conservative estimate. For families living paycheck to paycheck, this is an overwhelming amount of pressure. At the same time, the charitable sector tasked with providing support to Canadians living precariously facing food insecurity is operating way past its capacity. To meet that need, these hardworking organizations have had to increase the number of programs they offer, operate more days of the week, and many of them continue to add people to their wait lists. Visits to food charity in Canada are an all-time high. I am very proud of the work that's been done by Second Harvest to address these issues and to have a positive impact on millions of Canadians, the not-for-profits that support them, and the planet. Together, we are making a significant difference. I'd now like to introduce our fearless leader, Lori Nicol, to the stage. Please join me in welcoming.
Well, hello. Good evening, everyone. And thank you, Jeff, for your leadership as chair of the board of directors during another tremendous year of growth at Second Harvest. It has been truly remarkable and only possible with the tireless commitment of an extraordinary team led by an exceptional board of directors, thank you, supported by countless food and financial and in-kind donors, all with the same vision of no waste, no hunger. Yeah! Welcome everyone to our 2023 annual general meeting. Bonsoir et bienvenue à l'Assemblée générale annuelle de deuxième récolte. I am humbled and privileged to lead such an exceptionally talented team whose passion and commitment ensuring great healthy food ends up on plates instead of landfill inspires me every day. As Jeff mentioned, we've had another incredibly busy year at Second Harvest. Many of the goals we set for ourselves in our strategic plan have already been surpassed, a full 2 years ahead of schedule. Here are some of the lofty goals of the plan we set to achieve by 2025. Rescue and redistribute 72 million pounds of food. Expand our food support to include 5,000 nonprofits and charities. Engage 5,500 individuals each year through our training and education programs. Expand our volunteer program nationally. We also set a goal to work towards reducing our own environmental footprint by electrifying our fleet and more accurately calculating our environmental impact through evaluating Second Harvest's scopes 1, 2, and 3 emissions. We committed to producing new research. We set a goal to inspire and educate Canadians about the role food loss and waste plays in the climate crisis, and to advocate for public policy change to align with Canada's UN commitment of reducing food loss and waste by half by 2030. We set out to complete 4 grassroots campaigns about food waste and food insecurity. Our plan also included prioritizing our organizational EDI framework to ensure that Second Harvest is a great place to work. And as a result of the generosity of our supporters, our exceptional staff and volunteer team, in 2023, we rescued and redistributed 74.4 million pounds of food. Yes, let's hear it. Yes, let's hear it. My goodness. We exceeded our ambitious goal of 72 million pounds by nearly 4%, 2 full years ahead of schedule. Wow, wow, wow. And as important, the value of the rescued food was $286 million, money that we know our nonprofit and charitable network simply does not have to buy this food. This was only possible because of the support of more than 7,500 food donors from across the supply chain, from farms, fisheries, manufacturers, processors, grocery stores, and everywhere in between. That's 2,000 more amazing food donors than last year. 87% of the food we rescued was perishable. 64% was in the critical categories of produce, dairy, and protein. All of this great food allowed us to support more than 4,400 amazing frontline organizations like food banks, shelters, senior centers, community centers, schools, and thousands of others, putting us 88% of our way to our 2025 goal of reaching 5,000 nonprofits. We're almost there. This rescued food was used to support more than 14,000 food programs. I'm sorry, I'm thinking back to just 3 years ago. Wow, we've come a long way. So we've exceeded that goal, and we've helped these organizations serve an average of 205,000 meals each and every day. Through these dedicated frontline organizations, Second Harvest provided nutritious food to support 4.8 million people. 4.8 million people relied on Second Harvest last year. That's 500,000 more than the year before. Our training and education platform reached over 7,500 people in the last 12 months, an increase of 2,500 people, surpassing our 3-year goal by 36%. We provided training and education on food literacy, food waste reduction, and most importantly, safe food handler 5-year certification through a combination of in-person and remote opportunities. In 2023, we reached more nonprofits, more food donors, more financial donors, and more community members and individuals with training than any other year. But we couldn't have done it without our amazing group of volunteers. Through corporate food sorts and support of our office and events, over 3,000 volunteers donated their time to Second Harvest. That's 54% above the goal we set for ourselves. Amazing, you guys are amazing. So, well done. For many of us, I think for all of us, when we think about food rescue, we think about hunger. And that's a huge part of it. But as we've heard earlier, there's an environmental imperative here too, and it's massive. The positive impact of reducing and preventing food waste cannot be overstated. Last year, by diverting 74.4 million pounds of healthy food from landfills, we were able to prevent 241 million pounds of greenhouse gas emissions from entering our atmosphere. That's like taking 34,000 cars and SUVs off the road for an entire year. This also prevented 48.9 billion liters of water from going to waste, enough water to fill almost 74,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. And I can confidently give you these numbers because this past year, our incredible team developed our own internal greenhouse gas and water diversion calculators. Also, 2 full years ahead of schedule. What a team. So these are the important tools that will help us and our partners accurately track and measure the environmental impact of food rescue and redistribution. And on the topic of measurement, we have kept a strong focus on producing research to help raise awareness about the urgent issues we work on every day. In January, we produced a report called Canada Needs a New Year's Resolution for Food Insecurity, based on a survey of 1,300 of the nonprofits we work with, so we could better understand the expected demand for their services in 2023. Well, what we found was staggering. Following the unprecedented spike of 134% increase in demand in 2022, these hardworking charities and nonprofits were anticipating another 60% increase in 2023. This important research led to a great deal of awareness about the pressing issue of food insecurity and hunger in our country, and continues to be referenced by journalists, advocates, and politicians today. And as Jeff mentioned earlier, food charities are now experiencing record numbers of visits. And as we grow as an organization, so too does our platform to incite and inspire positive change in Canada. That's why we've set a goal to kickstart 4 grassroots campaigns by 2025. And I'm delighted to say, in the last 12 months, we've initiated 2. Along with our longstanding partner Loblaw, we ran a WasteWise campaign on social media, inspiring people to make more conscious decisions about food waste, food storage, and food preservation. And this campaign reached 27,000 people. We've also made major headway in our bid to raise awareness around the truth about best before dates, advocating for change, educating the public, as well as legislators about their role in contributing to food waste in Canada. Twice this year, Second Harvest appeared as a witness at the Standing Committee on Agriculture and Agri-Food in the House of Commons. And we're pleased to see they took our testimony quite seriously and released a report examining grocery affordability, which included a recommendation that the government investigate how eliminating best before dates could impact Canadians, as well as a recommendation that the government partner with nonprofit organizations to develop programs that divert food waste. These actions have tremendously supported our strategic goal of advocating for public policy change. As an environmental organization, we are constantly evaluating and reducing our own impact on the planet. In the last 12 months, we've made significant progress towards our goal of reaching net zero by 2030 by carefully evaluating the current state of our own carbon footprint. In 2023, with the support of the Dillon Consulting Group, we completed the measurement of Second Harvest Scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions, and we learned that our total emissions are about 978,000 pounds. At the same time last year, we offset more than 241 million pounds of greenhouse gases through the rescue and redistribution of great healthy food. Second Harvest is proudly carbon negative. We also purchased, and maybe you can see it later today, our very first electric vehicle. We had hoped to start electrifying our fleet by 2025, and we're excited to have brought this new van in so early. So as Canada experiences an increased number of major weather events fueled by climate change, the impact on people is growing. More and more, we're receiving emergency requests for support from these communities throughout the country. This past year, as Hurricane Fiona left a trail of devastation in the Maritime provinces, both people and food were at risk. Our team quickly mobilized to rescue food and ensure frontline organizations could support newly food insecure people who had lost their homes in the storm. Notably, we worked with ADL, PEI's largest online distributor, and the Summerside Salvation Army to rescue multiple pallets of food on short notice to relieve some of the immense burden that followed Hurricane Fiona's wake. In 2023, through our Harvest Kitchens program, we were able to support 65 nonprofits with over 350,000 meals made entirely from healthy, nutritious surplus food. This summer, through our Feeding the Future program, we provided 29,000 nourishing lunches to 2,300 children and youth at 22 summer camps in Toronto. This was only possible thanks to the 340 volunteers who spent almost 1,000 hours packing these kits for distribution, often very, very early in the morning, and Monday mornings too. And in 2023, we hosted the Rescue Party, a new event that has built on the important 30-year legacy of Toronto Taste. Held this past June at Meridian Hall in Toronto, the event brought together more than 30 of Toronto's top restaurants, featured headline performances by Sam Roberts and Serena Ryder. This important event raised enough money to rescue more than 2 million meals of food. We also held the first ever Food Rescue Awards to honor many of our incredible partners, donors, volunteers, and community advocates. In fact, many of the people in this room tonight were also in attendance on that awesome night, winning awards. As we continue to grow as an organization, so too does our public and profile and media presence. In 2023, our awareness in media grew by 25%, earning almost 4,000 mentions across broadcast, print, online, and radio. Media appearances in fiscal 23 were led by our Canada Needs a New Year's Resolution for Food Insecurity research, as well as conversations evaluating best before dates following the release of the recommendations I mentioned earlier from the Standing Committee. And the amazing Arlene Dickinson also became an official Second Harvest ambassador, lending her platform and her name to help elevate our messaging in media, online, and in her networks. I'd also like to highlight that we won 2 very prestigious awards in 2023. We were proud to be recognized as one of Canada's most admired corporate cultures by Waterstone Capital. People have always been at the core of our success at Second Harvest, and creating world-class culture has been a strategic priority for many, many years. And we won a Canadian Grocer Impact Award in the category of sustainability, in recognition of our work rescuing food across Canada, averting greenhouse gas emissions, and conserving water. And to celebrate our Most Admired Corporate Cultures Award, we created a pretty fun video, so I thought you might want to watch it.
What do you call cheese that's not yours? Nacho cheese.
Why did the Scarecrow get a promotion? He was outstanding in his field.
What do you call blueberries playing the guitar?
A jam session.
What is orange and sounds like a parrot?
At Second Harvest, we do a lot of good, and we have a good time doing it. Come on, it's pretty fun to work here, isn't it? So every year, we survey our staff to learn how they feel about working at Second Harvest, to better understand how we can improve. And this feedback is critical and allows us to implement strategies that respond directly to these insights. And I'm thrilled to say that in 2023, we have continued to maintain a very strong engagement index of 80%. 96% of our staff are proud to work at Second Harvest, and 93% think it's a great place to work. So thank you, thank you, thank you Thank you so much to all of you for supporting us in this important work. I am honored to be the CEO of this truly world-class organization. I'll now hand it back over to Jeff for some formal business of today's AGM.
Regrettably for you, I'm back. You know, I often think about what if Second Harvest didn't exist? Like, how would the void get filled? So, a round of applause for Lori and her team and all the donors and all the friends. It's amazing. Do we have any more videos? Okay. Thank you, Lori. As chair of the Second Harvest Board of Directors, I would like to officially call this meeting to order. Notice of this meeting was duly sent out on October 5th, 2023, in accordance with the bylaws, and given the quorum of members that are present, I declare this meeting to be duly constituted for the transaction of business. The minutes from the annual general meeting held on November 1st, 2022 have been circulated and are available to all the members. Are there any corrections or additions to be made to these minutes? Okay, that's good. I would like now to ask for a motion to approve the minutes. Do I have a proposer? Tamara, thank you. A seconder? Bernie, thank you. All in favor? Say aye. Anybody opposed? Good. I declare the motion to be carried. I would also like to announce that the financial statements have been approved by the Board of Directors and are available for viewing online at secondharvest.ca. I would like now to turn it over to Sean Goddard, Treasurer, to present the financial report. Sean?
Do a good job. Thanks. Thanks so much. Good evening, everyone. As Jeff mentioned, I'm Sean Goddard. I'm the Treasurer for the Board of Directors. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. I've got a few slides and some numbers to walk through and present everyone this evening with the financial results as of August 31st, 2023. As you'll see in a few moments, it was a year with lots of accolades and lots to be proud of from a financial point of view. Lori mentioned the amazing efforts of a number of individuals, some of them here tonight as the team, some of them as volunteers, some of them as donors, and that has really helped Second Harvest have a very strong year with an unprecedented quantity of food rescued over the year. You'll see here 268 million worth of food was rescued, representing an increase of 45% compared to the fiscal year 2022. We implemented stringent cost management techniques and benefiting the support of our volunteers and many individual donors. We have a modest surplus this year to report of close to $1 million. And in the next fiscal year, these funds will be used towards our food rescue to foster even more sustainable development. It's worth mentioning that Second Harvest has a high level of efficiency. As you see here, a low cost of 33 cents is incurred to rescue and distribute 1 pound of food. You should be really proud of that industry-leading number. And at the end of the year, we had unrestricted cash on hand of $6.3 million and net assets of close to $14 million. We'll continue to maintain vigilant oversight on these resources to ensure optimal utilization throughout the years to come, expanding the organization and resources as needed. The value of food donations is directly related to the categories of freshness that we rescue here at Second Harvest. Year over year, the growth has been close to 45%, but you can see that the growth over the past 5 years has averaged close to 50%. And this year alone, we rescued close to 114 million pounds of produce, followed by protein and baked goods. Second Harvest also benefits from a strong group of volunteers who provide assistance on a regular basis throughout the year. Their impact is immeasurable, and we're deeply grateful for their unwavering commitment to our mission here at Second Harvest. This year, we successfully recruited and integrated more than 1,700 new volunteers, representing almost a twofold increase compared to the previous year. And now we have effectively coordinated and facilitated over 4,300 placements of these volunteers. This year alone, there was a total of 11,000, just over 11,000 hours contributed by volunteers, equating to what would be worth, from a monetary point of view, of over $260,000, a notable increase year over year of 137% from the previous year. Considering the expanded facilities, the capacity of the volunteers and its engagement, this is a strong trend that we continue to see increasing in the coming years. And finally, one of the important goals that we measure at Second Harvest and across the board is, if you look at our financial statements, close to 97 cents of every dollar goes to help people throughout the Second Harvest programs. Measuring that, Second Harvest has highly developed an effective model for rescuing perishable foods and diverting it from the landfills. I'd like to also just point out and thank the entire team on the members of the Audit and Finance Committee for their contributions over the past year. It's truly been a team effort. I have one item of business before I close this evening, and it's the recommendation for our appointment of auditors. The motion that I'd like to put forward is I'd like to move that the accounting firm of Hogg, Shane & Scheck, PC, be appointed as our auditors for Second Harvest for the fiscal year ending October 31st, 2024. Can I have a proposer? Bernie, thank you. Seconder? Tamara, thank you. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, all in favor? Okay, number of hands up, thank you. Any opposed? Okay, I'll consider this motion carried. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to now turn it over to Bernie, the chair of the Governance and Nomination Committee. Over to you, Bernie.
Good evening. I'm excited to be here on behalf of the Governance and Nominating Committee. To begin this section, I'd like to nominate our 2023 board members: Karen White Boswell, Harry Dillon. Sure, we can clap on every one of them, or we can do it at the end, whatever you prefer. Jeff Houseworth, Catherine McMillan, Satish Rai, Tamara Ramsey, Richard Talbot, Murray Delphin, Sylvain Charlebois, Greg Lauren, Ray Chaya, Janice Lamb, and Kevin Groh. Do you want to clap now? Are there any further nominations? There being no further nominations, I declare that the nominations process is now closed. Do I have a proposer? Thank you, Jeff. Can I get a seconder? Thank you, Karen. All those in favor? Opposed, if any? I declare the motion to be carried. Thank you. I further direct the secretary to cast a single ballot in the election of the persons nominated to hold office as director until the next meeting, at which directors are elected or until otherwise replaced. You'll notice we have a few new names on the nomination list this year, and I'm very pleased to welcome Greg Lauren, Ray Chaya, Janice Lamb, and Kevin Groh to the board. I know their particular skill sets will benefit this organization immensely. I'd also like to take this moment to give thanks and recognize some outgoing board members. Sean Goddard has been a member of the board of directors since 2017 and a very valuable member of Second Harvest with his strong sense of integrity and commitment to transparency and accountability. We were very fortunate to have his expertise guiding our business. Since Sean joined, he's served on the Finance and Audit Committee and has also gone the extra mile in supporting the financial health of Second Harvest, most recently serving as treasurer on the Executive Committee. His attention to detail, commitment to our mission, and incredible professionalism cannot be overstated. Sean helped with financial strategy, reporting and management, and has connected Second Harvest with new and important funding through his professional network that has fueled the growth of this organization. Second Harvest will continue to benefit from Sean's profound impact for many years to come. Thank you, Sean. Carmen Tiano will also be leaving the board. Carmen has been a board member since 2021 and has been instrumental in tightening and strengthening cybersecurity at Second Harvest. Thank you, Carmen. Unfortunately, Carmen is ill tonight, so he can't join us, but thank you again, Carmen, for all your work. At this point, I would also like to announce that I will be departing as a board member. It's been an absolute pleasure to serve this wonderful organization. Thank you, Lori, the entire Second Harvest team, the board, and of course, all of the supporters that make Second Harvest possible. So thank you very much. Jeff, I think back to you.
Just stand there.
Oh, I'm standing.
I'll get you the gift later. Thank you, Bernie.
Very much.
I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Bernie's incredible impact in nearly a decade as a member of this board of directors. Bernie, you will be missed dearly on this board, and your impact at Second Harvest has been profound, to say the least. Bernie joined the board of directors in 2014, and in his time at Second Harvest, he served as a secretary from 2015 to 2017, vice chair from 2017 to 2019, chair from 2019 to 2021. I wish he would have stayed on a few more years. And most recently as chair of the governance committee from 2021 until today. Bernie has a passion for the Second Harvest mission of no waste, no hunger. That has been abundantly clear over the years. He has been actively engaged in the growth of Second Harvest. Bernie led our strategic planning process during our national expansion, has identified new board members, and made substantial contributions to securing major funding streams through his extensive professional network. It has been a critical part of our success. Please join me in thanking Bernie for his amazing tenure and impact on this board. Bernie, thank you very much. Can I ask Sean to come up as well? You have something for you.
You see, this was well rehearsed.
That's Bernie?
They look similar.
They look different.
Oh, very good. Yeah. Nice.
Thank you very, very much. Now it's time to leave. With no further business, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn this meeting. Do I have a proposer? Marvin? Yes, thank you. A seconder, thank you. All in favor? With that, we have a motion to adjourn the annual general meeting recorded on time on November 9th, 2023. This concludes the formal component of our AGM. We can all be very proud of what we've accomplished in this first year of our current 3-year strategic plan, and I look forward to what the future holds in fiscal 2024 and beyond. Before we wrap up, I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of our incredible supporters, our donors, our partners, our sponsors, our funders, and our friends. Thank you for supporting the people in Canada and sharing our vision of no waste, no hunger to fight food insecurity, food waste, and climate change. Without you by our side, none of this would be possible, and many Canadians would have a significantly different outlook on life. Thank you also to our staff, board of directors, and everyone here tonight. We appreciate you and are so glad to be together on this journey with you. Lori, over to you. I'm going to borrow this for Christmas.
I think it will look really swell on you, Jeff. I would also like to take one more opportunity to reiterate our thanks to all our incredible partners, supporters, staff, donors, volunteers, and everyone here with us virtually and in person. Thank you for standing up against food insecurity. Thank you for standing up against food waste and fighting for families, individuals, and the planet alongside us. Together, we're making a difference because rescuing food is just the right thing to do. Thank you for stepping up as leaders in our community. And from the bottom of all of our hearts, thank you for believing in Second Harvest and sharing our vision and for your unbelievable generosity. We are so profoundly grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The bar is now open.